towards the end of your book, you talk about praying for clarity. And what does that look like for you? Like here you are, you're uncertain, you have to move, you have to get going and doing some things. There's some actions that are necessary, but there's still some uncertainty. So when you prayed for clarity, what kind of clarity did you get? So just to resonate with our audience that, there is clarity that comes our way. What does it look like for you?
I have a new term that I have a friend that I've met this year, a fellow author that says it a lot, and Katrina and I have been kind of saying it to each other. But he says when you know it in your knower, that's when you know how to move forward. And which sounds, but to really answer your question, Masha, things align where you know in your heart, you know in your spirit. Yes, that was the Lord speaking to me in this circumstance, from that person, from this Bible verse, or in my prayer time. And you see that consistently. And you see, things coming at you consistently. But we go down to the creek and walk, and there's times when the water is just amazing and clear and crystal clear. And as I was praying for clarity, I prayed. I looked down in the water where I was sitting. It was actually by the tree that's on the cover of my book. So I'm sitting at this place, and Katrina is over a little ways from me in a different place, not far away. And I'm looking down into this crystal clear water, and there's this beautiful fish that just swims up right underneath me. And I'm praying, Lord, I need to know if I'm supposed to leave this job with crystal clarity, as clear as I can see through this water and see all the colors on that fish. And as I prayed that, Katrina heard me pray that, and she's like, I don't see the fish, because she was kind of at a different angle, so that was kind of a little bit of an object lesson too, that we all have to be in the same place, to be able to see with clarity. But that was my prayer. But then over the course of some time, uh, there were a series of events that happened that that really spoke to me about that word clarity. I got a piece of mail from one person that was just totally random, and the whole subject of it was about clarity. And then I get an email from another person that's the whole subject of it is about clarity. So it was like, okay, we know we need to move forward, but we don't know exactly how, but we need clarity, Lord. And God just woke me up that morning, and He said, there's more to life than this. And and I wrote it down immediately, and it was what I was doing in my job. And I mean, it was just like crystal clear. And it kind of set us on a course of, okay, now we know we're leaving. Now we know I'm getting out of this job. It's not if, but when. And so it really kind of set us on a really straight course to know this we're in this place. And by the way, we had put some things in order, gotten some financial things in order, paid off all of our debts. We're completely debt free at that point, and we're just drastically saving money to prepare for the next step.
Wow.
And David, that's interesting. So you talk about you knew it was coming to an end and you were doing some preparation. And when I think about people who are tired of the corporate world, many of them are going to be burned out. Masha, Brian, and I all had that experience where, we were burned out in our corporate lives and we had to take various steps to recover. For Brian and I, ultimately, it was the same decision that you made, which is we know that we are leaving our corporate lives. But you're right, there's this question of when, and there's this period of preparation. And sometimes that period of preparation is much longer than you want. And you talked about waiting. If we have folks in our audience who they do feel like they are being called to step out of corporate life and step into a different life, and they're waiting and preparing, what advice would you give to them? Because that can be, for us, it was almost 2 years from the time we decided we need to leave until we were able to. And I don't quite know the timing on yours, but I know there was a period of time. So what advice would you give to people who are in that time of waiting and preparation right now?
I would say, be bold and know that life does exist outside of your current position. It really can. We get so entrenched thinking that the place we're at is the place that we're always going to be, and life doesn't exist, whether it's outside of this company, outside of my town, outside of, whatever confines we put around our existence. We think that the world is so small and tightly defined by what we are and where we're at. But be willing to think outside the box and think, wow, I can do something somewhere else. I can do something different. I can get new skill sets, or I can take the skill sets I have and go do it for, even if they want to work for a company. People get so entrenched with thinking, I'm just stuck here. I can't change. If I change, it's going to be risky. And they can't get out of maybe a toxic environment to go do the same work for somebody else in a better environment. So, we just set up all these traps that, there's never going to be somewhere else where I can survive. And so, be willing to step out and know that you can survive elsewhere.